All right, what will you need, guys? You'll need one dumbbell, a towel, and some water, and we'll get with you. We'll get with you. We'll get with you. Okay. Hey, B3 family. Today's workout focuses on the full body. We're going to start off crushing the core. We're going to hit the legs, and then we're going to finish with the upper body. But let's get to the warm-up. To begin, guys, for our 3-minute warm-up, we're going to do plank jacks. So Abby's going to demonstrate right here. So a plank position, and our feet are going in and out. We're going to go 30 seconds on this movement. Then we're going to stand it up, and we're going to turn it into a lateral lunge. So we're going to step side to side. It doesn't matter if the foot stays planted. That's completely up to you. But I want you to get as deep as possible and drive the knee out over the little toes. And then our final movement is down on all fours. And we're going to go into the bird dog. So we're going to lift opposite hand, opposite leg. And if she puts a mark on my wall with her shoes that I just painted, we're going to have some problems. All right, you ready to go? All right, guys, so we're going 3 minutes, 30 seconds with each movement, and we start in 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. All right, guys, with the plank jack, let's look at a modification here. So if you can hold that plank, I want you going from the high plank position. But we can step out, step back in. We can alternate each side. Either one's fine. If you need to go from a kneeling plank position, we can do the same thing. We can just bring the leg out, back and forth. Totally up to you. All right, guys, we've got 8 more seconds. Nice tight core. Pull that belly button in and squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and we stand them up, and now we're into those lateral lunges. So I like to bring my legs together because you have to push off that foot, but some people will take a wide stance. They'll drive over one side, drive over the other side. That's completely up to you. My preference is to bring the feet together, kick it over. You can lift the foot up or leave it planted, but drive that knee out over the toes. Get out of my camera view. Whoa. And 3, 2, and 1, and we are now into that bird dog position. So I'm going to take it from an angle here. Again, tighten up the core, drive out, and you're going to try to keep the hips from rotating in one direction. Keep them square and pointed to the ground. Straighten that leg out and squeeze the glute. Squeeze that butt cheek as hard as you can. All right, folks, we have 8 seconds. And then we're back at the top with our plank jacks. In 3, 2, 1, plank jacks. Good. Now, if you end up having, I don't know, wrist problems. Some people do have weak wrists or wrists that hurt. Go low plank. Perform that same movement. All right, we have 10 more seconds, and then we're standing up, and we're hitting the lateral lunges. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are up. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna slide over just a little bit. Good, and just work on getting as deep as you can. You can drive those arms out. Everyone has a different range of motion, so you may not be able to get as deep as maybe Abby can get. Maybe you're more getting as deep as I'm able to get here. Just go as low as you can. 3, 2, 1, we're back down into bird dogs. Good, under control. As you drive that arm and leg out, exhale. And keep working. 15 seconds here, guys. All right, we have 5 more seconds, and we're going to go into the world's greatest stretch, which starts in a half kneeling position and begin. So again, half kneeling. We want to really dig in, drop the hands, get low, open up the hip. 3 to 5 seconds in this position. Then open up the inside arm, reach up. 3 to 5 seconds. Now shift your weight back. Sit back on that back leg if you can. Straighten up, point up the toes. 3 to 5 seconds. Stay on the same leg. We've got another 30 seconds with the stretch. Then we're going to switch to the other side. To get deeper into your stretch, exhale. So you can really open up. All right, 15 seconds, guys. Should be able to get in one more. And sit back. We've got 3, 2, 1, switch legs. All right. Again, keep that steady breathing. At no point should you hold your breath. All right, and if you can, drive the elbow. If you can touch it in the ground, touch the ground with your elbow. This is about as far as I'm able to go right now. And we sit them back. All right, guys, we have 15 seconds remaining. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, what will you need, guys? You'll need 1 dumbbell, a towel, and some water, and we'll get with you. We'll get with you. We'll get with you. Okay. Okay, everybody, our first blast consists of 2 movements that we're gonna go back and forth between for 4 minutes. Then our final minute, we're gonna hit a complex cardio movement. So let's take a look at our first core movement, guys. We're gonna begin with the flutter kick press. So if you're able to hold a seated position, hold that seated position. You're gonna count the presses. So you're gonna do 10 presses before we change movements. I'm gonna show you different ways to scale this. Then we're gonna go into a straight arm sit up. So we're gonna actually reach up to the top, 5 on one side. Once you get the 5th rep, you're gonna switch to the other side of the body. We're gonna go in and out of these movements for 4 minutes straight. Then our final 60-second movement for cardio is gonna be a combination. We're gonna go 4 mountain jumpers into a quarter burpee. So Abby's gonna demonstrate, do 2 mountain jumpers into a quarter. 1, 2, now this next one, she comes up squat position. So that's gonna be our final 60-second movement. All right, ready to get it? Okay, guys, let's get set up, get ready to go. We're down position. We're going in 3, 2, 1, start it up. Now, if flutter kicks bother your lower back, which it does for a lot of people because they don't have good control over their pelvis. So what we're gonna do is keep 1 foot down, and every time I press, I'm gonna lift 1 leg up. 1, 2, 3, until I get to 10. That is a good option to use. If you're able to flutter, but you wanna make sure your back remains flat against the floor. Now, once we get to the sit-up position, now if you can't press it, that's okay. You can always remove the dumbbell, but we want to try to drive it up. Now, if we have to, we can go frog position to take the hip flexors out of the position and out of using them as we press up. You can also choose to go 10 straight, holding the dumbbell with both hands. That's an option as well. Make sure, again, you are keeping that core super tight. And you're exhaling as you're coming up. And again, we alternate with these movements for the next 4 minutes. We just conquered 1 minute. We've got 3 to go. Every time you press, exhale. And I recommend keeping a neutral neck. Now, as I'm talking and looking at the camera, so I'm kind of straining a little bit. I don't want you to do that. I want you can turn sideways, but try not to reach with the neck. Either flatten the head or tuck the chin just a little bit so you can keep that positioning. All right, here we go. All right, once you get 5 on one side, we switch to the other side. Okay. All right, back to those flutter kicks. Now, if straight leg is bothering you, it really shouldn't, but if it is, I would go into that dead bug position. So what that looks like is 1 is down, and then I switch as I press. It's another good way to scale it. It's slower, under control, which is what you need for your core. Just make sure you're taking the belly button, you're pulling it in, and you're flattening the back. You do not want any space in between. A good way to test for that, slide a towel underneath. And if it can be pulled out with no problem, you have an arch that we have to get rid of. We have to learn to tilt that pelvis correctly. All right, we have 55 seconds before we go into our cardio movement. Again, keep that breathing. Good. 35 seconds to go, guys. You know, last week I had done a lot of front squats. You remember that? Yeah. Yesterday I was doing push press. No. Shoulders are feeling that. All right, 10 more seconds, guys. There you go. So we're gonna have the quick transition by getting rid of that kettlebell, the dumbbell, excuse me. We've got 3, 2, 1, and begin. We go into that mountain jumper. Now remember, you can elevate your body here on a bench or a stool if you need to. You can also step them in and back so you're not hopping. And that's fine if you choose to do that. Then on that movement into that squat, we come up. So you're walking up as opposed to hopping up. Good. Holding that position still, tight core. We want to open up as much as possible and try to keep the chest up high. This is not going to be easy for everyone. Some people have a forward lean. You're going to end up in this position. Is this the position I want you in? No, but as long as you're not loading it with weight, you're safe. But if you were loading it with weight and you're here, you're going to cause some lower back problems. So be very careful there. All right, guys, we got 12 more seconds. Good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Great work. Yep. Great work, guys. Take 60 seconds, and let's get ready for blast number 2. We are ready to begin blast 2, and blast 2 focuses on the lower body. We're going to stick with the same rep scheme. We're going to do a 5 by 5, so 5 on one leg, 5 on the other, between 2 movements. Let's take a look at the first movement. This movement is the reverse lunge with a straight leg lift. We're going to kick to the back. It's going to really focus on the glute. So watch Abby, she's going to step back, and then when she comes up from the lunge, she kicks her leg back, keeping it as straight as possible. Goes right back down in that lunge position, dropping the knee. 5 on one side, 5 on the other, and then we're going to go right into the dreaded and lovely Bulgarian split squat. So you're going to elevate your back foot, and she is driving her knee out over the small toes, and she's pushing through her heel in the front. Now, an alternative movement for this is to drop the foot off the bench and just stay in a split position. All right, that's for 4 minutes. After we finish the 4 minutes, guys, we have 60 seconds of full burpees. Now, most people don't know what a burpee looks like, so you're going to need to demo several, okay? So if you notice, chest to the ground, hop up flat-footed. You can take your feet wide or narrow, but you need to land flat-footed. If you need to modify, I'll show you some scaling. That's what I do. All right, ready to go? All right, guys, let's get it going. We start with the reverse lunge with the leg lift in 3, 2, 1, begin. Remember, it is 5 on one side, 5 on the other. It's probably best to hold it up in front of you and keep it really close to your body. So as we step, drop, now kick. And squeeze the glute. I want you to fight the urge to rotate your hips. I'm going to show you what I mean on the other leg. So a lot of times when people do this movement, they go to kick their leg and they open their hips up and they lose that glute contraction. So stay squared up and keep it rolling. Good. All right, once you got that, find that bench. But let me show you that split squat. That would be staying in this position, dropping it down and up. But the knee still drives over the small toes. And up. And up. Keep good control here. And I say it all the time, if you're wearing running shoes, these Bulgarian split squats are going to be really hard. Almost impossible because you're going to be falling left and right. Right now I have on flat Converse. Abby has on, these are no bull training shoes. Or go barefoot like I always recommend. All right, we are 90 seconds in. How do the legs feel? Yeah, I bet. And kick. Now, if you're having trouble lunging, first thing you have to do is not use a weight. That's very important. Don't load anything if you're not able to perform the movement correctly. If you're having trouble lunging, then we can go shallow. But if you have anything to hold on to for support, my recommendation for lunging is always start from the bottom. Build your strength from the bottom, because you're going to have way more control if you start from the bottom. Good. All right, guys, stay with it. 2:45 left, which means you have 1:45 on the leg movements before the full burpees come into play. Remember, good breathing. As we're standing up through that lunge, I want you to breathe out and hit that Bulgarian split squat. Now, nice tight core. Try not to lean too far forward. Try not to drive your weight back and arch your back. So engage your core as if you're going to get punched. Nice and tight and sturdy. All right, guys, we've got about 65 seconds. The legs should be burning here. Just keep fighting through it. 1 to 10, how do the legs feel right now, Ev? On fire. That's a great answer when you ask for a number. 1 to 10, fire. All right, 40 seconds left. But I love unilateral movements. The single leg movements really make you focus and help with those compensations that people have. If you always notice that one hip hurts more than the other, or the left knee is always bothering you, or the hip flex is always tight, it's usually because of compensations. All right, 10 more seconds. All right, gotta get ready. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 into the burpee. Now, here's a way to modify that burpee. We go half, we kick back, but we still hop up. Or we step all the way down and step it back up. We can also go to the bench, kick back, hop up, based on what you need. But don't pick the easy way. Pick the way that you can perform it correctly and still be challenged. All right, 30 seconds to go. All right, we got 20 on the clock. Good steady breathing here. I breathe on down on the floor, exhale. I exhale at the top, 7 seconds. Then 3, 2, and 1. Great work. All right, guys, 60 seconds and we hit that final blast. Okay, folks, this is the final blast, blast number 3. We are gonna go into the upper body now, guys. We are looking at 5x5 rep scheme. So let's take a look at the very first movement. We have the bent over row. So instead of having 2 dumbbells or a barbell, you're still gonna bend over. And now your core and your hip have to stabilize the weight on one side. So we're gonna do 5 reps, driving the elbow to the sky, and then we're gonna switch to the other side of the body. Notice neutral spine, and she's pushing her weight back in her hips. All right, then the next movement is the alternating shoulder press. So this is a strict press. She's not incorporating the legs. She's just focused on the deltoid, working that shoulder. 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. And then after that 4-minute period, we're gonna knock out 10 and 10 here. 10 mountain climbers, just count to 10, and then hop it up and go into 10 high knees, and I'll show you how to scale it. All right, you ready to get it? Yep. All right, guys, let's do it. We're starting in 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. All right, so we got that bent over row. Now again, first movement should be to chop at the hips. So you push the weight back. There you go. Now this is loaded, the hamstrings are loaded, and I can wiggle those toes. And we pull this guy. You can always bring that one arm out if you like. And then I keep my position, switch to the other side. Good, and then bring it right on up. Shoulder press. Notice I don't want to flare the elbow out. I want to kind of tuck it in, keep it close to my body. A nice neutral position here. You want to be careful about leaning or arching the back. Tighten up the glutes, tighten up the belly. And we keep that going. Good. So instead of letting it have you lean, I want you to fight it. I want you to really tighten up that core. You have a muscle, it's called the QL, and it feels like it's a back muscle, but it's a deep core muscle that can cause the back to feel like it's in pain, but it's gonna help you from falling over. And so this is a great movement to build strength in that muscle. Now, what's a practical or applicable way of using that muscle? A lot of folks that are carrying babies, and you got a little car seat that you take out and you hold it on your side, you're using that muscle, but it can become overworked, especially if it's not strengthened. So we wanna make sure that we can strengthen this muscle. Shut up, Ian. Got it. Well, I'm not going to shut up. Another thing I see with the bent over row, I see a lot of people that are barely bent over and they're almost standing straight up and they're pulling here. I want you bent over. I want that chest facing the ground. Chest facing the ground. You should be able to look at the ground. If you're not looking at the ground with a neutral neck, chest facing down, you're doing it wrong. All right, folks, we have 2 more minutes of this strength component before we crush that last 60-second cardio. Now, you can slow it down or speed it up. For example, I could hold and slow it down, or I can go for reps and crush it. It depends on how much weight you have. This weight is actually kind of light, so I could really just rep it out, but it depends. If I were using a bigger dumbbell, I'd have to slow it down. All right, guys, 75 seconds, so keep at it. 75 seconds, stay on this grind right here. And back up. All right, guys, get 60 seconds to go. This is your final minute, so stay with it again. Tighten up, squeeze the glutes, tighten the core as we press, and just focus on that shoulder. Breathing as we press up. You really have to get your breathing down. The last thing you want to do is hold your breath. All right. 30 seconds remain, guys. 30 seconds. Try to get another set in. All right, we should be able to finish here. I'm going to finish with the shoulder press. Got 18 seconds to go. All right, 10 more seconds, guys. And then remember, it's 10 mountain climbers, 10 high knees for 60 seconds. 10 and 10, and we go in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Now, if you need to modify, we go elevation. We can even modify on the wall if you have a wall near you. That's fine for your mountain climbers. High knees, we can modify here by going into a march. So always some way to scale a movement so everyone can be successful. All right, guys, just over 30 seconds. Keep them going. Remember, shoulders should be over the wrists. Show you from that side angle. Instead of having our weight back, drive your weight forward. Tighten up your core. All right, final 10 seconds. Stay with it, guys. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, great workout. Great workout, everybody. Remember, no. I'm gonna cut it there. Great workout, everybody.